because I had cysts on my breast, so I couldn't breastfeed, and it was also painful. So I'm dealing with this pain right now, and then I got a Caesar. I got him through Caesar. So I'm dealing with this pain. I'm dealing with this pain. I'm not going to deal with this pain as well, and this pain as well. You know, and this is the pain.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tshepang, and this is my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome. Please remember to hit the like button, also subscribe, and switch on the notifications bell so you can get notified each time I release a new video. So guys, we are carrying on with our conversation. This is part 2 of Tshepang's story. If you haven't watched part 1, please do click the link in the description box below, just so you can watch that part first, and then you can carry on the conversation with us. But otherwise, let us pick up from where we left off. Because you touched on something, we just had to leave it. I want to pick it up from there. You spoke about how in your 20s now you're dabbling into relationships as part of dealing with this post-traumatic, and I really love all these examples that you're making, because it shows that, you know, the things we go through manifest differently, like in our adulthood. You know, I know for me as well, with the challenges that I had growing up, you know, then I had to find ways to try fill that void and feel better and not think about what I'd gone through. So you mentioned something so important, you know, because I always try and tie in mental health with relationships. So obviously you had gone through depression, you had gone through postnatal depression, you had gone through post-traumatic stress disorder. Now coming into the phase in your life where, okay, obviously you I assume, well, it's not an assumption, but you got to this point where now you've left this 3-month rule, you know. So now you're prepared to be in commitment, because obviously now Mrs. Machege to be so commitment is the key ingredient. So when you got to this point where, okay, you know what, you're ready to get into more serious long-term relationships, how did you then be able to function within those relationships after having gone through the depression? And obviously I'm sure you did have depression as well within those relationships. You know, how did you kind of be able to function within that relationship with everything that you had gone through previously?
It was difficult. I don't want to lie, because now you come with experience, the 15 years of experience into now this new baby. But you need to know, like I said, like I always advocate for formulas doing things differently. So when I got into the relationship that I'm currently on, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try different things, because certain things,
need to hear this.
Because certain things did not work out for me. Number one, I had trust issues. Even before you do something, we might say it's guarding your heart, but at the same time you're doing injustice to your partner, because now you know you're snooping around the phone and all of that. So as soon as you stop every negative things that you were doing in your previous relationship, you're gonna see a huge difference. And luckily my partner has always been very supportive with a lot of things. And you know, when you have just somebody like a buddy, you go through life, everything is just much easier, because he's my go-to person. When I am, before I let something depress me or stress me out, I would talk to him, and instead of just isolating myself within the space, and now we are coexisting in the house, you know, I would be like, okay, this 1, 2, 3 is bothering me. If you're gonna laugh about it, we laugh about it, but also like, because I spoke about it, we can move on. Whereby previously I didn't believe in that. I didn't believe in telling my partner certain things. Or you find that you're with somebody that gets annoyed when you say, oh, you know what I saw today, you know. So as soon as you open that room, or you make the channel of saying we're comfortable with each other, to tell each other whatever, you know, and then everything just becomes easier. And had it not been for that, I don't think I might have gotten where I am mentally, because support means a lot. support me.
So communication. So you're saying, because that one reoccurring theme I'm picking up in our conversation is you mentioned talking. So even though, you know, for some people maybe formal therapy or going to a therapist might not work, but talk, because that's what you're saying, within this relationship as well, that's how you've managed to really kind of be able to function within it, despite the things that you're going through. You talk about it, like, you know. So for some people who might not have Mr. Happy, they must just find their friends who's happy and just be like, hey, listen, so and so, I'm not okay, I'm not good, I'm not that. So I like that you're really recommending the fact that talking is something that's so good, and being able to go past that. And maybe let me find out this will probably be a very difficult question for you to answer, but how do you think then your partner is able to relate to you when you're having episodes, like, because you mentioned it a lot? Okay, or maybe let's start by asking, how does he relate to you when you're having an episode? Again, now we're looking at it from a perspective of somebody who is in a relationship with someone who struggles with mental health. So how does he relate to you, and do you find that every single time he relates to you in that way it works? Or are there times where you're able to say, baby, but that time I needed this, you did that?
Well, I don't think we ever had that conversation to say, you know, well, I'm struggling with 1, 2, 3 emotionally or mentally. But he knows about a lot of things. He might not know how it affected me, but he definitely knows about them. So I don't think he would actually, like, now, if I would to be depressed, to be honest, I don't think he would notice.
Okay.
I don't think he would notice unless I tell him. But that's how it has always been, because I've never shown any signs to, like, even people who, like my mother or my sister's my best friend, you know that. Like, we share everything, literally everything. So, like, she wouldn't even notice. So
but how do you like, are you just those people who you can have a poker face, like you just
I do.
You're just so like,
I've got such a happy face. But I think it's also because people see you as this happy. People see
they know you as
they know you as this. If I'm down, he would be like, what is wrong? But I wouldn't be like, okay, you know, like, I don't think he would think much of it. He would just think, okay, she's just having like a bad day. Everybody has bad days.
Also, the talking part is then comes after you've gone through the episode. That's when
so
you're
for
like,
me,
that time.
Like, I would be like, ish, niggas sharp or whatever. Or if I need to say it today, I would. But most of the time, I react afterwards. Like with each and everything, I react only after the situation.
I think maybe then a very crucial question, because obviously PTSD is what we really deal, and depression is what we're really dealing with a lot in our conversation today. Would you say years later, that little girl, like that young girl who went through all the things that she went through, like, have you kind of sat with her and tried to heal her? Like, because obviously you've gone through all these situations trying to get over it, but you get to a point where you eventually said, okay, you know what, this was a problem, you know, let me heal that little girl. Has it ever come to you, or did you just kind of say, you know what?
I have actually, and how I did it, actually, it was very weird, because at the same time I did lose my grandmother at a young age as well. And remember, she's the one who actually raised me, so she's the one who lived the situation with me. So there was no one else who would understand better than her. So for some reason, like, I always had a book, and I would write conversation as if I'm talking to her, but then it wasn't like a story, it was like a monologue. I would write her response as well. You know, and I would read that, and for me, it was dealing with everything that happened and forgiving everyone, because for some weird reason, me and my stepmother currently, we have a good relationship.
Oh, wow.
We have a good relationship, and that's something that I needed to do for myself. That's something that I needed to do for myself, because at the end of the day, so many things happen, and we are not going to dwell on that. We are not going to dwell on that. And then after the time I moved with my mom, I stopped seeing my dad because it wasn't safe. They would follow him to know where I am.
Yeah.
So it was, I think I went for my 2-3 years without seeing my dad, and my dad and I had a very strong relationship. So for me, it was
protecting you as well.
Yes, he was. So yeah, it was just one of those things that I needed to deal with. I would not have made it if I just left it hanging,
like that.
Because I knew that it's just something. It was just honestly so traumatizing to an extent that I never wanted to be alone. If I just see maybe you light a fire, something small, everything will come back. If I see smoke, if I see broken glasses, you know. So I needed to deal with it, but I also did it by myself. There was no one who said you should do this and this, but that's what worked for me.
And how is Tshepi now? How is Tshepi today? How is Tshepi really doing today?
You know, in the past few months, so many things have happened, right? Good things and bad things. In the beginning of the year, just when I started like finding myself within the relation with my dad, now we had built such a good relationship. I lost him. So in the beginning of the year. So I remember, even I think it was 2 weeks before, I had a face-to-face meeting with him, and we were talking about you know, the future and all of that. So I remember it was a Monday. I think it was the 2nd of January or something. I was going back to work. It was from the shutdown, from the December shutdown. I was going back to work on Monday. When I got to work, I was slaying. You know, the first day you always want to make the impression like, because I'm a plan okay, everyone is gonna have a piece of this today. And when I got to the office, I got a call from my mom. My mom was like, your stepsister passed away. I was like, okay. I went home. I informed my boss. And then we took food, for my dad was in hospital at that time. So we couldn't see him because it's COVID. When we came back, so the next day on a Tuesday, he passed away. So it's like now 2 people, and then the funeral for the both of them is going to be on Thursday. So now everyone in the office knows. Well, I'm assuming. I was on my way to the gravesite. Kilo look at my dad and my sister. I get a call from work, from my boss. She's like, Tshepi, wait, I can want requisition so did you do it? I'm like, well, kimo funeral. Okay, lilo fetana goma.
Wow.
I'm like, Ish, I'm not sure, but then I will let you know. Okay,
sure.
So they're not even giving you
that
space to breathe. I get home, my dad died of COVID, so everyone at home is sick. I'm the only one. I had COVID before, so I didn't know what worked for me and all of it. So I was just running around trying to get stuff for them to be steaming around. I'm not going to be sending somebody a requisition. You understand? And then it was on the Thursday. On the Friday, we took my other sister to hospital. On Sunday, she passed away. And then on the next week, it's the funeral. So I didn't even get time to go to work.
And then even mourn as well.
You know, and then hunale bed logo. You won't believe. On Monday, I was getting meeting requests from all my bosses saying, why am I slacking? Why am I doing what? When I went back to work, it was like nothing ever happened. Nobody wanted me to, not even one single person. Everybody wanted productivity. They wanted you to deliver. And I'm like,
how?
You know, before you are an employee, you are human. And then they are also not immune to all of that. And I think also, like, a lot of people they get stressed because of that when coming to dealing with loss. When they need to go back to work, it's not easy to just pick up where you left off. And if you don't have that support, you can have that support from your family, but when you go to work, if you don't have that support, because people will be like,
so it's been quite hard.
It's been quite hard. Having to deal with all of it, and then having to move as well to a different town. I don't know anyone here. Having to adjust, but I think I've been.
And you're taking care of yourself.
Well, I have to. I have to. So, but yeah, I think I have been doing pretty well, and I think everything that has happened in my life, made me become the person that I am as well. And also being part of TRR helped a lot because in everyone's story I could relate. I could relate. So now I'm like, oh, okay, can I be this and this happened, you know? So it's okay. I'm not going to normalize it, but then you can see when there's a problem and then you deal with it. And I now I know how to deal with my problems, which is nice because I don't like therapy. Girl. I don't like therapy, but I think it's much needed. It's much needed. Ever since, and I'm always advocating at work. I would give people the numbers for the work psychologist, but I've never been to one. But I also need to make time for it because, like I said, you need to take care of your mental health, even though you're not sick. Before it gets to a point where now you need to rely on medication because I hate those pills. I once was relying on those pills, and you can't be happy, you can't be sad, you just neutral, and I just hated it. Medication made me gain a lot of weight as well. I ate a lot. Like there was just like a lot of things happening there. So I just had to, because I started taking them after I got the child, because that time I was so depressed to a point where I wanted to kill the child. I was like, you are gonna die.
Oh no.
It was it came to that point.
Goodness.
It came to that point. So that's why I was on the pills. But I left the pills.
Wow. I think we didn't even really tap into the postnatal depression. I mean, if you're saying that, it means it was definitely something very...
That one, if my child sees this after 21
okay,
years,
no, then
but yeah, I think it was very difficult because you know, I told you that I broke up with my baby daddy while I was pregnant, and I was not working at the time, like I didn't have
almost felt like the child was
and I was young, but I was not like a teenager. I think I was 23 years old when I had him. So like I'm stuck. I'm stuck because of this child. And I remember there was this time I was calling his baby daddy. The child needs now milk because I had cysts on my breast, so I couldn't breastfeed, and it was also painful. So I'm dealing with this pain right now, and then I got a Caesar. I got him through Caesar. So I'm dealing with this pain. I'm dealing with this pain. I'm not going to deal with this pain as well, and this pain as well. You know, and this is the pain. And then Shem, the kids can feed off the energy. If you're not okay, he's also not going to be okay. He was always crying, and I didn't know how to deal with it, and I didn't have support at all, because you know, we are state. I never had that. Like my mom had to go to work, and I had to still take care of the child, take care of myself, wash his clothes, stitches and all. You know, so it was more emotional than physical. The physical pain was there. It was overwhelming, but then emotionally, I think that time I was on my lowest. And then I remember I've got a male best friend, and he came to see my son now for the first time. You can't, you know, and then he took me out on a date with my son, and that was the first time that I felt alive. That was the first time, okay, I can actually still have a life even though this person is here. And now I always have to incorporate him when I go to a restaurant and take a check. Do they have a playground? You know, before I just wanted to be away from him. I wanted to be away. I wanted to be with my friends. I wanted to live my life, forgetting that now you're a mom. You know, things do need to change.
Wow, you definitely tapped on something very important, because I think postnatal is something a lot of women go through that a lot of women don't talk about. But I think in just closing up, because you obviously now, like we mentioned, the things that, the way that mental health issues have manifested in your life, like what would you say to someone who let's just say literally somebody who's facing the exact same thing that you have faced, or in whatever situation, what would you say to that person going through whatever it is that they're going through, to kind of like
I would just say that they really do need to deal with it. number one, you need to recognize and acknowledge that you do have a problem and you're not alone, and our khafi and our lawyer most probably, you know, acknowledge that there's a problem, and you know, I was able to do it without therapy because I have been to a therapist before, but always try to go for therapy because they deal with different types of people. They would know what works for you, what does not work for you, you know. Just try therapy,
just talk to people,
because you know sometimes we don't know where we can find these services, or especially for public. Imagine now you have to go to George Mokara, they would give you a date after 3 months. After that you would have hanged yourself between that time. Just talk and watch a lot of mental health videos.
Definitely.
YouTube taught me how to cook. YouTube taught me how to draw my eyebrows. So why not mental health
as well? You're making a powerful point.
Just put yourself out there, research anything. Don't just take, just a few days ago I'm experiencing a lot of hair loss. I was like, okay, this is not normal, and I searched that is there really an illness that can affect your growth or your hair loss, and I found out that there is. I always preach, especially when we have the talk with the kids, I would be like, know yourself, know your body, know yourself mentally and physically. You must always know the difference when I'm sick, or if it's just a headache, or if like I'm really sick. This is a migraine, this could lead to meningitis. If you know your body, you would know whether you are sad just for the day, or I'm really now in a dark space. If you take time to know yourself, learn yourself, you would always know whether you've got an issue or not. And then as soon as you acknowledge it, it's easy to find help because you know that now I've got an issue.
Sure. Wow. Tshepi, wow, girl, this is different. I think I love having these sessions because I also get to learn a lot. I feel like you kind of take in something from everyone, and I think from you, the biggest thing I've been able to pick up as well today is the importance of being vocal, because I know you as well. Like, you're just generally a very vocal person. So just talking to people and just being able to say, like, I think for me, because I've relied so much on therapy, it's so hard to go to other people and say, like, for example, with Tato, I'll cry. I'll have sessions where maybe once in a blue moon where I cried. I'm like, oh my gosh, the world is falling, and I'm not able to, like, maybe every now and then be like, girl, I'm not okay, this and this and that. So I'm learning that, as well, if you want to be able to function within a relationship, it's something that you need to be able to do, like talk to your partner, because I can push, I close, like the moment things just feel like I'm just like, no, let me just close off. So I've definitely learned quite a lot from you today. I didn't even know you went through all of that, and I'm so sorry again for the loss.
I don't wait on my face.
So yeah, I mean, and that's what I love about you as well. Sometimes you don't need to always show up to the world with your pain, but you can kind of say, listen, I went through this, I've overcome it, and you can too, here's how. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I love these sessions, and I really hope that you guys are loving them too. I definitely believe that as time goes, I think if we need to have all 7 billion people on this show so we can all kind of say, hey, listen, I'm not okay, I have had these challenges in my life, but I've overcome them, or I'm overcoming them, then we're doing something good. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Please remember again to subscribe, to like, to comment. I'll leave Tshepi's details, social media details as well in the description box. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.